Starting at short from Trinity College, number 34, John Ramsey. Starting at second base from Lincoln University, number 7, Sean Stoney. Starting at first base from SUNY Albany, number 27, Justin Hurd. And catching tonight for your DiamondDawgs from Fairfield University, number 30, J.P. Kuzic. And tonight's starting pitcher for your DiamondDawgs from Collegiate University, number 18, Andrew Gandy. The DiamondDawgs are led by head coach Steve Luby, assisted by Mike Harrington and Adam Kowalski. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Singing tonight's national anthem from West Winfield is Ariella Luther. Nice round of applause for Ariel.
Fans, thanks for tuning in to Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs Baseball. I'm Pete Pagliaro, bringing you all the action tonight. We'll be joined by Scott Kinville on color commentary tonight as well. And tonight it'll be the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs against the Oneonta Outlaws. First, let's give you the lineups for the Oneonta Outlaws. At second base is number 13, Brendan Connolly. The right fielder is number 27, Jack Clark. The extra hitter number 4 is Nathan Bose. And left fielder is number 28, Jack Kohler. The DH is number 34, Lenny Montesano. The center fielder number 1 is Dave Richards. First baseman is number 10, Connor Wading. Catching is number 49, Zach Porter. Third baseman is number 14, Thomas Woodridge. And the shortstop is number 5, Matt Carrera. On the mound tonight for Oneonta is number 30, Logan Scholl. For the DiamondDawgs, it'll be left fielder number 3, John Calabretti from Bucknell University. At third base is number 8, Tyler Jones from George Washington University. The DH is number 13, Joey Calabretti from Seton Hall. Catching tonight, number 30, J.P. Kuznick from Fairfield University. And center fielders number 11, Caden Hart, coming to us from Virginia Tech. The shortstop is number 34, John Ramsey from Trinity College. And right field is number 14, Ian Oschlager from RPI. At first base is number 27, Justin Hurd from SUNY Albany. And the second baseman is number 7 from Lincoln University, Sean Stoney. On the mound tonight for the DiamondDawgs is number 18, Andrew Gendy from Felician University. So there's your lineups. Mohawk Valley comes in here 8-6. Meanwhile, Oneonta 3-11, struggling a bit on the year. Scott, welcome to the broadcast, buddy.
Well, thanks for having me up here, Pete. It's boiling up here, as one can imagine, up here in the press box. But you know what? We got a beautiful night for baseball. The sun's out. The wind's blowing a little bit. The Dogs are looking really good, coming off a big win Saturday night. That was a huge walk-off win, a come-from-behind win, if you will, against Utica. That was a real strong effort by our DiamondDawgs.
Yeah, really good win for them, Scott. I think it was good to see them. I mean, not good to see them get down, but it was good to see them come back and win that game. It gives them a lot of energy, gives them a lot of enthusiasm, and they're ready to go for this one against Oneonta.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that was just a gutsy performance, and like you said, that's certainly a building block to keep going on the rest of the season.
Yeah, for sure. So Brendan Connolly will come to the plate to start things off here for Oneonta. It'll be Brendan Connolly, Jack Clark, and Nathan Bowes. 1, 2, 3. And on the mound, Andrew Gendy. He's 1-0 on the year for Mohawk Valley. And he's got a 0 ERA, and that first pitch is fouling off in the count 0-1 to start things off. A left-hander starting things off here for Oneonta. Like you said, Scott, a little bit of wind. It feels good with this heat.
Oh, sure, it certainly does. And you mentioned a 0 ERA. It doesn't get any better than that.
It's about as good as it gets, right?
Exactly.
Good as it gets. But no, it is a scorcher out here today. Today and tomorrow expected to be pretty hot in the area. But you know what? That's what baseball is meant to be played in the heat, right?
Absolutely. And we got a doubleheader tomorrow, actually. Boonville coming to town.
Yep.
Finishing up a suspended game. It'll be starting at 5 o'clock. Game one they'll be in the second inning. The Lumberjacks are actually going to be up 2-0 at the start of that, and then game two will be a 7-inning game, which will start 30 minutes after the first game's done. So, lots of baseball coming your way.
For sure. Brendan Connolly strikes out. So Jack Clark, the batter now. Clark is a right-handed batter, hitting .333 on the season. He's got the sole only home run for Oneonta this season.
He's also got 8 stolen bases on the year, so you got to watch for him once he gets on the base paths.
And he fouls that one off on the first base line, so he's going to do it again with an 0-1 count.
Yeah, and Oneonta, like you mentioned, 3-11 on the season, so, the Outlaws have fought the law, and more oftentimes than not, the law has won. However, don't underestimate this team, because they themselves are coming off a big win against the Utica Blue Sox.
Yeah.
They went up to Murnane Field last night, actually, and beat the Blue Sox 13-3, so they're going to be coming in here tonight with a little confidence as well.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. It takes each team a little time to gel, so it could take them a little longer here, but, we're still early on in the season here.
Yeah, still a lot of time left, a lot of baseball to be played.
And there is strike two. The count now 0-2.
Well, that was a U-Haul pitch. There was a lot of moving on that.
So here's Gandy now with a windup and pitch. It is high and inside. They're going to check to see if he went. And They say no, he did not. That was high and tight, so 1-2.
Yeah, the umpire in good position to make that call.
Yep, for sure. 1-2 pitch. Same type of thing. He held
that's like an instant replay.
Yeah, it looked that way, didn't it? And same call, 2-2. Clark kind of holds that bat high when he holds off a little bit. Makes it look like he goes around, but he really doesn't.
Right. Big bender there.
Yeah, 3-2. And those pitches all kind of in the same spot. Trying to push him off the plate a little bit, looks like. Here's the 3-2 pitch now from Gandy. And that ball's hit to the first baseman. He scoops it up, and he's going to touch the bag for out number 1.
Justin Herb with a nice play over there at first
base. Yep.
Now into the Outlaws, the extra hitter number 4 from Sacred Heart University, Nathan Bowes.
So Nathan Bowes, the extra hitter, is going to come to the plate. Hitting .292 on the season is Bowes. And he's another righty here for Oneonta.
And that's an interesting concept here in the PGCBL, having that extra hitter available.
Yep. Still getting used to it myself.
Yep.
It's a little different. Not every team utilizes it. The Dogs. I don't think they've ever done it. I haven't seen them do it.
Which I'm sure, obviously, Coach Luby has his reasons for it. So
I'm sure. Yep. That one misses for ball 1. Gandy again, like you said, the bender, throwing a little bit of a bender here, not always hitting, but working on it here. Now it's fouled off the count 1-1.
Well, when you got a pitcher that can mix up his speeds like that, it really keeps the batters off balance.
Yep, for sure. So Oneonta, we're in the orange tops here. Orange tops with black sleeves, black numbers, and gray pants. They resemble the Orioles a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. They also resemble my old alma mater, Mohawk High School.
Okay.
Who, coincidentally enough, tonight is CVA night, Central Valley Academy, and Mohawk was absorbed into CVA. So little connection there.
Yeah, there you go. That one's fallen off, and the count now 1 and 2 remains. So 1 and 2 count, 2 outs. So Connolly struck out, Clark grounded out, and that's all we got for the first 2 outs here in the top of the first. We are scoreless here from Vets Memorial Park. Here's Gandy with the pitch. That one misses for ball 2, and the count now 2 and 2.
Well, the captain obvious statement here is this is obviously what you want with the Dogs. I mean, 2 batters up, 2 batters down. You got a 2 and 2 count now.
Yep, can't complain about that, right?
Get through this inning unscathed and then get the ball going.
2-2 pitch,
And there you
there's
go.
a swing and a miss. He strikes out. And 1-2-3 goes Oneonta. We'll be back for the bottom of the first. We're scoreless here in Mohawk Valley.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And welcome back, fans. Getting ready for the bottom of the first inning. Kids got a little bit of wet out here. And good thing on a night like this, getting some balloons tossed up in the air. And those balloons break, you get wet. So on the mound here for Oneonta to start things off is going to be Logan Scholl. He's 0-1 on the year, a 2.25 ERA. And for the Dogs, it is going to be John Calabretti leading off. It'll be Calabretti, Jones, and then, hang on a second. John Calabrese, Tyler Jones, and Joey Calabretti. Those names get me once in a while.
Well, they're very similar.
Yes, they are.
So I can't blame you, Pete.
Plus, I write it down quick, and they all look the same.
Yeah, it's all good.
Here's the windup and the pitch. He shows bunt, backs off. And the count 1-0.
Well, it goes without saying that I think the concession stands are going to be busy here tonight because there's going to be an awful lot of beverages sold, I got a feeling.
I would think so. 2-0 the count. Hopefully some of those come up here as well because we are going to be needing it.
These outfielders don't have an easy time of it out there with that sun glaring right in their eyes. Not to mention the heat. Your hands are sticky. Your sweat all over the place. So you really got to concentrate out there tonight.
Plus that wind is moving from right to left a little bit. That could cause a little bit of a problem once in a while.
Absolutely.
And the first pitch to Tyler Jones is a called strike, and the count 0-1 with 1 out here. Thus far, Dogs and Oneonta Outlaws. It is PGCBL action. That is right back to the pitcher, and it's going to get through as the second baseman made an attempt, but it got right underneath his glove, and good for a base hit.
Yeah, those are really tough, too, because you don't know what the hop's going to be coming off the mound.
Right, sometimes that mound, that's a ball hop. It makes a big hop on you, and
saw that a couple times Saturday night where so much spin on the ball, once it hits that ground.
Took off right to center field.
Yeah, exactly.
So here's Joey Calabretti. Calabretti to his credit, and now he's got a run on first base and 1 out.
Well, I mentioned it the other night. Calabretti is definitely the do-everything, the Swiss Army knife, if you will, for the Dogs.
Yep, for sure.
He pitches, he hits, he fields, he hits home runs.
Yep.
Seton Hall's got to be proud.
Good old Pirates. Big East, right? 0-1.
Those were the days, huh?
Yeah. And that one's fouled off by Calabretti. The count now 0-2. Yeah, those Big East days were certainly fun.
Oh. I tell you, I hate to sound like the old guy, but it was so much better back with the Big East, those rival games. Oh, my goodness.
I agree. You could just rattle off the games. I mean, Seton Hall and Georgetown and just great competition between those games. Those were always great games.
Every Monday night was must-see TV, and that has hit pretty hard, but it doesn't look like it's going to get out of here.
Yeah, it's going to be picked up by the center fielder out there. That's Dave Richards, and that is good for out number 2.
For your Dogs, the catcher, number 30, from Fairfield University, J.P. Kuzik.
So here's J.P. Kuzik now. Well, Kuzik hitting .444 in the season. And in and out of the lineup has been Kuzik. He is catching tonight for the Dogs. So again, runner Onfman. And a little blooper there, and they throw into second base close, and he is safe. So a little blooper single there for Kuznick.
Hey, once again, those Texas Leaguers can be the most dangerous hits around.
Number 11, from Virginia Tech.
So Caden Hart, another big bat in the Mohawk Valley lineup from Virginia Tech. He hit a home run already this season.
It seems like every time he comes up in a big spot, he comes through.
Yeah, for sure. His batting average doesn't show it, hitting 171 right now. But I agree with you. It seems like every time he's up, he's got something to do.
Exactly.
So 2 outs. Runners on first and second here for the Dogs. Bottom first, no score. Dogs trying to get on the board early, and there's a strike to Hart to start things off.
And that's one of those situations where statistics can be really deceiving sometimes.
Right. The 171 doesn't tell you when bases are loaded how you did.
Right.
0-1 count. Here comes the windup and the pitch now by Scholl. And that one misses. For ball 1 in the count, 1-1 to Hart here. Should Hart reach, John Ramsey waits on deck.
Oh, good start here for the Dogs, getting 2 runners aboard. Just start building that confidence little by little.
Especially in a hot day like this, you want that pitcher throwing as many pitches as possible.
Exactly.
And there's a little blooper. This might cause problems here. He picks it up, throws over across, and safe at first. So that ball was hitting out, like you talk about that backspin. It had some backspin on it.
Backspin,
so slow roller.
He had to contend with the runner going to third, too.
Yep.
And for that, if you notice, he had to take a half step back and then slow down, which was just enough to be able to get Hart over. The Dogs will take that every single time.
For sure. Here's John Ramsey from Trinity College now. He's hitting 143 on the season, plays shortstop here for the Dogs. And the pitch is down low for ball 1. So bases loaded for the Dogs, exactly what they want to do here in the bottom of the first, but they want to score.
And broken record time here. I mention this every game, but with all that territory behind home plate, you don't want the ball to get by if you're the catcher.
Nice curveball there, and for a strike in the count now 1-1. Yeah, that backstop always a problem if it gets past you because there's a lot of room back there.
Sure is.
And you see all these catchers back there. They're always scrambling to make sure that ball stays in front of them. And 1-1 pitch misses, or actually fouled off. And the count now 1-2. So 1 balls and 2 strikes here to Ramsey. So Scholl can get out of this inning with no damage with bases loaded here. The Dogs would like to say otherwise. So 1-2 pitch coming here from Oneonta's pitcher, Logan Scholl. And that one misses. And that evens things up at 2-2.
Well, I'll give the catcher credit there. He tried to frame that, but the ump wasn't buying.
You know what? You got to try. You got to
Exactly.
try. I always say that. You got to give it a shot.
It's all the gamesmanship.
So Scholl with the 2-2 now. He's going to wind and deliver with bases loaded. In the dirt, and that just gets away from the catcher, but not far enough, as that was a slow roll.
Yeah, it was.
Kind of between his legs. They didn't see it right away, but not far enough for them to take a chance.
That ball looked like a turtle trying to cross the road.
Speaking of that, we saved the turtle today.
Did you?
We did.
Oh.
Lots going on in Westmoreland with all the storm damage and everything, and we were going down our road. A lot of it's closed. Here's a 3-2 pitch.
Runner's going.
And that is popped up into foul territory. So there's only one way down our road, which you're not really supposed to travel down there anyways, but I do need to get out of my house. And we saw a turtle crossing the road, so we either wait for it to cross the road or we gently move it out of the way, and that's what we did. Because if we didn't, I probably would still not be here.
I'm sure he appreciated it.
He did. He said hi. And there is ball 4, and a runner walks in. So that's what the Dogs want to do here early on. Get on the board quickly.
Well, Pete, if you notice those last 2 pitches, the Dogs runners were moving.
Yes, they were.
Which is going to be a huge distraction for the Outlaws as well.
Yep, yeah, that runner was almost halfway down.
He was.
Third baseline. So Ian Oschlager now in the bag and end the inning, but the Dogs put up a run and they lead 1-0 as we head to the top of the second. Back after this.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
And we are back. Dogs have taken a 1-0 advantage here after the bottom of the first. We head to the top of the second with the Dogs leading 1-0. And due up this inning for Oneonta is going to be Jack Kohler, Lenny Montesano, and Dave Richards. So final warm-up toss is being taken here by Andrew Gendy. Gendy from Felician University, as I mentioned before, a 0 ERA, 1-0 on the season. We'd love to make that 2-0. And I'm sure he'd love to keep that ERA at 0.
Oh, I'm sure he would. It's that goes without saying. But you know what? A great start for the Dogs. Get on the board at the bottom of the first inning, and now you play solid defense, you get good pitching, and you just play your game, really, at this point.
Yep, attack it every inning. And hopefully after 9 of them, your runs are more than the other teams, right?
Absolutely.
That's usually how it works.
Number 28 from High Point University, Jace Kohler.
So here's Jace Kohler. As I mentioned, Kohler hitting .345. And he makes a little, looks like a sign of the cross or something in the dirt before he steps into the box. And normally you see it closer to the batter's box. He did it way near the grass. That was a little different.
Yeah, it was. But you know what? That's one of the fun things about baseball. It seems like
right?
Every player's got their own unique take on the game.
Yeah. Fun to see. That one's fallen off the count 0-1. So we have some congratulations to give out in the NBA. We have a new champion.
Ah, yes.
The Thunder, Oklahoma City. I was hoping maybe Indiana would win that one, but terrible injury. And it was sad to see, actually.
Yeah, you never want to see it end like that. But you know what, though? At least the first ever champ.
Yep.
Neither team had ever won, so...
Right.
Congratulations to the Thunder.
1 ball, 1 strike, and that one's fallen off. And the thing with the injury is he was hurt during the playoffs, and he sat out that one game, and then he came back to play, and everyone's saying, should he play, should he not play? And he played, and you saw what happened. Torn ACL.
Yeah. But ironically enough, we're talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. Central Valley Thunder are here with us tonight.
Yep. True. That one's popped up, and the first baseman, Hurd, makes the catch for out number 1 there. So Jace Kohler pops it up to the first baseman for out number 1 here in the top of the second. And Lenny Montesano, the DH, the right-handed batter, will step up to the batter's box. So Montesano, a righty, and looks like Gendy is ready to go. I'm waiting for Montesano to get in there.
Well, he certainly wants to get to work.
Yeah. And big swing and a miss. As Montesano's looking to go to work there with that pitch. That swing, 0-1.
Boy, and it's interesting, Pete, watching the pace that pitchers work at. Some go very, very slow, like the turtle you rescued this morning.
Yes.
And others want to get right back to work as soon as they throw the ball.
Yep, 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. And there's a big swing and a miss for strike 2. And, it's funny that you say that because sometimes here in the box, you try to time it. And sometimes, even though you think you got it after a couple innings, it takes a little longer and you're waiting for that pitch to come out of his hand. You're like, all right. I already told the fans that he was winding up already.
And he's still winding up.
Still there. All right, one misses for ball 1, 1 and 2.
He's just taking the seat across the home plate.
Yeah, right. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, again, he gets the ball and the glove goes right to his face. He's ready to go. Here's the 1-2. And that one misses high in the count now, 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, 1-0 lead here for the Dogs. They jumped on the Outlaws early in the bottom of the first, loaded the bases, scored a run, and looking to quickly work out of this inning and get back to their bottom half of the inning. So that one's fouled off, and the count remains 2-2. Another good crowd on hand tonight here for Mohawk Valley, despite the heat. Fans are coming out. We have a couple of fans on the other side, which I believe might be Oneonta fans.
Well, hey, it's hot, but like I said, there's lots of cold beverages here at the park, and what better way to spend your Monday night than coming out watching some DiamondDawgs baseball?
I agree. 2-2 count, and looks like Montesano's going to shed some gear there. He took off the elbow pad.
A little too warm for that.
A little too much, right? 2-2. Sometimes you get all dressed up, you got to take the tie off, right?
Yeah.
There's a 2-2 pitch, and that one's hit. Looks like over the head. Almost had it there of the second baseman. And there's a base hit for Montesano. So for Sean Stoney, then just kind of it was in slow motion for a second. He thought maybe he'd get it, and then it just went right over his head.
Yeah, it's almost like that knuckleball effect, right? I mean, and not for nothing, last inning there was a ball hit just about to that exact same spot. So maybe there's something to it.
So Dave Richards, the center fielder, now at the plate, hitting .216 on the season. He's got one out and a runner on first base. And he fouls that one off in the count 0-1.
Well, we'll see if they keep an eye on the runner on first base. I've said it a million times over. It's always interesting to see just exactly what they want. It doesn't look like he's taking that big of a lead.
No, not a big lead right now.
I don't think he's going to get too much attention from Gendy, but we'll see.
Again, that one's fouled on the first base line. So now 0-2. So quickly ahead of the count is Gendy here with the 0-2 count to Richards.
Well, Richards been a little bit behind on the last two pitches. Maybe Gendy tries to go with some high cheese right here. He's up 0-2 in the count, so he's got a pitch to waste.
Yep. Let's see what he's got here. 0-2, looks over to the runner at first. Again, he's taking just a couple steps off the bag. Again, he takes a little peek over and throws it. And misses outside for ball one. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dave Richards. Connor Waiting is waiting on deck. 1-2 now. Again, Gendy looks over at that runner at first. And looks over his shoulder before he delivers the pitch. Puts it high again. And the count now 2-2.
Well, you got to give Richards credit for having some patience up there at the plate. He was down 0-2, and he's worked his way back to a 2-2 count. So let's pressure back on Gendy a little bit.
So Gendy looking over at that runner every once in a while, making sure before he throws his pitch that he stays close. Here's the 2-2. And there's a call, strike 3. That thing bent away from him and got him.
That pitch was, that looked like a coat hanger coming in there.
That's tough. That's tough to hit.
Yeah, there was nothing Richards was going to do with that.
So Connor Waiting, he's hitting 111 on the season. He's the first baseman here for Oneonta. He steps into the box now with 2 outs, runner on first base. Gendy delivers and swing and a miss for strike 1. So one of the things that will come into play today is obviously this heat, how long these pitchers are going to go. Because obviously with the heat, they're going to get tired a little quicker.
Yeah, and exactly. And you know what? It's basically the same exact humidity we had Saturday night. When we talk about Saturday night, how hard it is to grip that ball.
Yep.
So that's going to make a world of difference going forward.
1-1 count. I mean, even up here. There's the 1-1 pitch, and that's fouled off behind us here in the count 1-2.
And it's a testament to the players' concentration, too, on both sides. I mean, we got this kind of heat, this kind of humidity. You have to have 100% concentration, keeping your head in the game, and so far so good for all these players.
Also makes this game so hard to play. There's so many different factors that come into play to be good at this game. A 1-2, that one misses. That one didn't make that bend that he was hoping for by Gendy.
No.
When those don't bend, they usually push the batter off because they're usually right in the chest area, and they got to back off usually. Well, 2-2, 2 outs, runner on first, taking that short lead again. Here's Gendy with the 2-2 pitch, and he gets him. Just like that, and he ends the inning. So Gendy's got good stuff early on. We're going to head to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Dogs.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
All right, we are back for the bottom of the second inning. Dawgs will be coming up looking to put some more runs on the board here. First two innings, they put allowed zeros on the board for Oneonta. And the Dawgs put one up on their own in the bottom of the first. We'll have to do one or more here in the bottom of the second.
Well, you certainly want more with a 9-inning game tonight, obviously. One run might do it, but most likely not. So you certainly want to get more.
You always want to get more, right? More is always better. So Justin Hurd is going to lead things off for the DiamondDawgs here in the bottom of the second. Hurd from SUNY Albany, a 229 hitter. And he is covering first base tonight.
Justin was here last season. He's back for more this season. Obviously, he likes it here in the Mohawk Valley.
Yep, familiar name here for the Dawgs. Hurd, a right-handed batter. He's ready to face Scholl. Scholl winds and delivers. And that is pops foul. And the count 0-1.
Well, the Dawgs would certainly love the Hurd to be the word and have him get a leadoff single or get back on base.
Yeah. No complaints there, I'm sure. 0-1 the count here. Here's the windup now and pitch by Scholl. And big swing and a miss by Hurd there. And he was trying to get everyone to hear that one.
Yeah, he wanted the shot heard around the world there.
Sure. So. He finds himself down 0-2 now. Let's see what Logan Scholl pulls out of his bag here with an 0-2 count. And leaves it high. And the count 1-2. So 0-2, a lot of pitchers like to go high, see if they chase.
Yeah, Hurd did a good job of laying off on that one, even though he went up to the top rung of the ladder on that one. So
1-2 now. Here's the pitch. And right down the center of the plate. And for a second, you can tell Justin was going to swing at it, and then he held off and struck out.
That movement at the very end froze him.
Yep.
Sean Stoney.
So here's Sean Stoney now. Stoney hitting 200 on the season. He's playing second base tonight. Lincoln University is where Stoney is from.
Stoney's got some wheels. As a matter of fact, he scored the game-winning run Saturday night. He was pinch hitting for Ethan Hughes. So
yep.
Stoney gets on base. He can certainly swipe a few for you.
0-1 the count now to Stoney. Here's the windup of the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike two again. Scholl quickly getting ahead on the count here. So no balls and 2 strikes with 1 out here for the Dawgs. Bottom second. 1-0 the score. Here's the 0-2. And that one has some movement on it. And that froze him at the plate as well. And that is a strikeout. The second of the game for Scholl. And out number 2 of the inning.
Well, Scholl certainly looks like he's settled in a little bit, but now he's got the top of the lineup to deal with.
Yep, let's see what happens here with Calabrese coming to the plate. He popped out in his first at-bat here tonight. And Scholl's going to wind and deliver. Puts it right down the center of the plate. Called strike 1. Calabrese takes his practice swing and gets back in. Go ahead.
No, I don't know where he's showing a lot of movement on his pitches. More so in this inning than last inning.
That went down low for ball 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, both pitchers have a lot of movement on their pitches tonight.
Very similar styles.
Yep.
And Scholl likes to get right back to work too. So
1-1 pitch. And that went down low as well. And the count 2-1. Yeah, these guys don't mess around. When they get the ball back from the catcher, they're pretty much ready to go.
Well, and that might have a little bit to do with the heat tonight too. Just keep going and don't let yourself sit too long.
2-1 pitch, and it gets popped up into the glove of the second baseman. So he makes the catch for the final out of the inning. So that'll do it for the inning, and the score remains 1-0 Dawgs. We'll be back after this.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
Walker College, Zach Porter.
And we are back. Zach Porter will lead things off here for Oneonta. And the score 1-0 Dawgs here. Here's Gandy with the pitch, and he misses on that one with ball one. A 1-on count to Porter. Porter hitting .294 on the season. He's the catcher tonight for the Outlaws. Here's the pitch. And a little chopper to the third baseman. And bobbles it for a second, picks it up, throws across, and that is good for out number one.
Now batting for the Outlaws, the third baseman, number 14 from Walker College, Thomas Woodridge.
So Thomas Woodridge, 185 hitter here for Oneonta. He'll come to the plate with one out. Here's the pitch. And that one in for a strike. The count 0-1 now to Woodridge. Woodridge, the third baseman for the Outlaws, left-handed batter. Here's Gandy with the pitch outside. And the count 1-1. So Thomas Woodridge, third baseman, due up next. Matt Carrera on deck. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that one fouled off, and the count 1-2 to Woodridge here. So Scott heading downstairs for our middle of the inning interview. So he'll be back after that. 1-2 the count here with one out. Gandy sets, winds, and delivers. Puts it outside, and the count 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Woodridge. Woodridge, the third baseman. Here's the pitch. And little chopper to the pitcher. He grabs it. He's going to take it himself. Step on the bag. And that is out number 2. So Woodridge grounds out to the pitcher. And Matt Carrera now will come to the plate.
Number 5, Matt Carrera.
So the shortstop, Matt Carrera, now the batter, hitting 130 on the year for the Outlaws. Again, the Outlaws 3-11 on the season. Looking to rack up some wins and move out of the basement in the East. That one's high by Gandy, the count 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes, nobody on. Top 3, Dawgs lead 1-0. Here's Gandy with the pitch. It is fouled off. The count now 1-1. After that one gets fouled off into the tennis court areas here at Veterans Memorial Park in Little Falls. 1-1 now the count to Carrera. Here's Gandy with the pitch, and that one goes foul. And the count now 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Matt Carrera, the shortstop, right-handed batter for Oneonta, steps into the box. 1-2. Andrew Gendy looks in and ready to deliver on the 1-2 pitch. Long stare by Gendy. And here's the windup and the pitch. And it is high for ball 2, and the count now 2-2. So Deuces Wild again here with 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And Gendy looking for one more to get out of this inning here. 2-2 pitch on its way from Gendy. Here it is. And called strike 3. Gets him. And that'll do it for the inning. So after the top of the second, the score remains 1-0 Dogs. And we have a player interview coming up, so hang tight.
And I'm Aiden, this is your second stint as a dog. What do you like about the Mohawk Valley?
It's awesome. I mean, that's why I came back for the second time. Everything from the GM to the fans here, it's awesome.
It is a great place to play. So Saturday night, huge win against the Utica Blue Sox. Come from behind walk-off. You came in the top of the 8th inning with the Dogs actually down, but gave the Dogs a chance. Tell me, what was that like coming in the 8th inning, knowing your team was counting on you with that helmet on to hold the fort down and get the win?
It's nice to know the coaching staff has that trust in me to come in and shut it down and get us those zeros. I mean, every time I go out there, it's the same mentality each time. Get ahead, pound the zone like Coach wants us to do.
Do you have a nickname here on the team?
A few. Yeah, Big Soda's one of them, yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, after that performance Saturday night, I would say lights out. Aiden, thank you very much. Best of luck rest of the season. That was Aiden Calagrande. Back to you, Pete.
All right, thank you, Scott. So we are back, and great interview there on the field, and we are ready to get going here, bottom of the 3rd inning. And Tyler Jones is going to lead things off here for Mohawk Valley. Here comes a pitch by Scholl. And that one is hit to a right field. Right fielder backing up. And he's going to make the grab for out number 1.
Now batting for your Dogs, the designated hitter number 13 from Seton Hall, Joey Calabretti.
So Joey Calabretti, who's popped out in his first at bat, hitting .250 from Seton Hall. He's going to step in here for the Dogs. So here is Calabretti ready to go. And Logan Scholl, the pitcher on the mound for Oneonta, delivers. And he does so high in the count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out here to Calabretti. And that one a strike. And the count now 1-1. So Scott is back with us. Scott, welcome back to the broadcast. Great interview.
Well, thank you very much, Pete. Aiden did a wonderful job. He's a natural.
He is a natural. I agree. 1-1 pitch. And that one missing high. Now the count 2-1 to Calabretti.
It's a great closer and a great interview.
For sure. We're glad to have him back here at Vets Memorial Park.
Yeah, that's like you said in the interview. He loves it here. He wanted to come back, and we're glad he's here.
Yeah, we try to bring these guys back whenever we can. 3-1 count now. All these guys, we talk about them all the time. We take all these guys back every year.
Oh, and for sure. Yeah, and I think if you ask me what the players like, you got a lot of structure here. The coaching staff's fantastic. They treat everybody well. So it's really a great place to come play baseball.
Yeah, sure is. 3-2 count as that one was falling off. And sometimes these players like to go to different places just to see, different coaching styles and see different things a little bit too.
Yeah, you know what? I really think that helps with player development.
Yep.
Because you can, I don't want to say it's a rut, but you hear the same style, same philosophy. Right. It's good to switch it up every once in a while, see things through different eyes.
Yep. That one's falling off, and the count remains 3-2.
But I will tell you, it's a little cooler down there than it is up here.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's feels normal now up here because you've been up here so long. You can't even feel anything anymore. Kind of numb to it now. 3-2 the count. And now it's a little Dribbler to the shortstop. He picks it up, throws across for out number 2. Nice little play there by Matt Carrera, the shortstop.
Now batting for your Dogs, the catcher, number
Dogs down with 2 outs.
From Fairfield University, J.P.
I'll tell you what's really fun is that I can see the Dogs have already started this tradition when we're doing these player interviews, getting that orange helmet involved.
Right. So, I've seen it a couple times already.
Yeah, gotta love that.
Yeah. So here's J.P. Kuzik. Kuzik with 2 outs. Nobody on here. 1-0 lead for the Dogs. Scholl winds and delivers. Puts it in the dirt, in the chalk. And the count 1-0. A nice job there by the catcher to scoop it away. That was Zach Porter, as that was right in the right on the chalk line. So the chalk line kind of jump up a little bit.
And that's a much more difficult play than it looks.
Oh yeah, it is. Ball's coming fast. You just scoop it out of dirt like that.
I mean, these catchers here in the PGCBL make it look easy, but it's really not. I mean, that takes a lot of hand-eye coordination. And obviously, they've done it before. So, like I said, they make it look real easy.
Yeah, it's not their first rodeo, right?
No, not at all.
2-0. And that one misses for ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes now to J.P. Kuzik. So Kuzik comes to us from Fairfield University. That's a school we've heard before, as we've had many players join us from Fairfield.
Now, they're the Stags, right? I think we had this discussion last season.
The Stag, yep. And there's a called strike on the outside corner. Yeah, they're the Stags. I think we have this discussion every year about the difference between a deer and a stag.
And I'm still not sure.
Yeah, we're not sure either. Stag sounds tougher, man.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, there's ball 4, so he's going to take a walk. I mean, if you're talking about the Fairfield Stags or the Fairfield Deer,
right?
I mean,
yeah, I suppose, yeah, that's a good point.
You know? I mean, even Milwaukee, we got the Milwaukee Bucks.
Right.
I mean,
what would you rather be, you know?
Milwaukee Deer?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it sounds kind of...
Yeah, it doesn't sound very...
cute.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
we get the cute factor, but...
I mean, I'd go pet a deer. I don't think I'd go pet a buck or a stag.
Well, that's true.
And it might be the same thing. There's a strike.
Yeah, if there's anybody out there who knows and can explain that to us on our socials...
They're like, listen, I think a stag is a male deer. I'm not sure.
They're like, guys, we tuned in for baseball, not a biology class, right?
And that ball hits Sharpie past the shortstop into left field. And there is a base hit. He's going to go to third. And it's going to be close.
Oh,
and
you got in there.
Safe on a close play. Kuzik takes the extra base, and it was close, and he got in there just in time.
Well, he was certainly running like a stag there to get that extra base. So,
Number 34.
From this vantage point, it looked like he just hooked around that tag because the tag was there, but he just got his hook, the old hook slide, if you will. So, good on JP.
So, John Ramsey now from Trinity College will take his shots here at Scholl. And he'll do so with 2 outs, runners on the corners for the Dogs. Again, Dogs would love to add another run or 2 here if they can.
Go from a stag to a bantam up the plate.
True, yeah. And that one curves in for a strike, and the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike here.
That's the great thing about all these different college players coming in here. All these different colleges, all these different nicknames. Sure, there's interesting stories behind them all. As Caden Hart steals second.
Yep. Strike 2. As Hart steals second, now puts runners in scoring position. Second and third. Some of these schools sometimes you never hear them before. First time you hear them, you got to look them up.
Yeah.
See where they are. See where they're located. Get a little history about them. It's kind of cool to see. And there's a swing, and he's going to throw over to third. First, as he dropped the ball. And that does it for the inning. So they strand 2 runners in the Dogs, and the score remains 1-0 after 3.
If you're looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to serve as retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
And welcome back, fans. So 3 complete. Score remains 1-0 Dawgs.
Well, it looks like both pitchers are just settling in. You know, that's huge for both teams, really. And here's the deal, too. If they're settled in, that means they don't have to go to the bullpen, which is massive when you're playing, 4, 5, 6 games a week. If you can save that bullpen, that's key to the success of any team, really.
Yeah, especially for the Dogs coming up with a doubleheader tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, coming to the plate for the Outlaws is the second baseman, number 13, Brendan Connolly. And Connolly has struck out in his first at-bat here tonight against Gendy. And he's going to give it a second shot here in inning number 4. So Gendy is set to go. Connolly is ready. And we are going to duel here in the 4th. Here's the pitch. Right down the center of the plate, called strike 1.
And I just want to let everybody know there's not going to be fan interviews tonight. We got our cameras spread out all over the place here. So with the heat and running around, we decided that we're going to hold off on the fan interviews tonight.
There's strike 2. That ball curves in for a strike. Nice pitch there, 0-2. Yeah, with the heat index at what it is, we're trying to save our interns.
Yeah.
Guys in the booth, it doesn't matter about us.
Yeah.
We're replaceable. 0-2.
They got the cameras, though.
That one's hit to left field, and that is an out. So another quick out. That is in left field. Calabrese. So I'll pop out.
27 from High Point University, Jack Clark.
I'll pop out to Connolly. We'll bring up Jack Clark now. So Clark has grounded out in this ball game as well to start things off. So Clark hitting .333 coming in this game. He's got a home run, and that ball curved late, and they count 1-0.
Just not enough.
Nope. That's a tough pitch, though. And that thing comes right at your shoulder, and then it drops away from you.
Well, you're backing out because you're thinking, well, it's going to hit me, and then all of a sudden it's coming back in. So
and that ball has some nasty movement, and it catches the corner of the plate, and 1-1 the count. That one kind of curved away, and they kind of jumped back. 1-1 pitch. And that one misses, ball 2.
Yeah, and of course we always talk about, like, when the Utica Blue Sox are in town, we always talk about the history between, Little Falls or Mohawk Valley, whichever team's playing here at Veterans Park, between them and the Blue Sox.
And 2-1 pitch hit past the shortstop for a base hit. And that'll put a man on for Oneonta here with 1 out.
But Oneonta's got quite a history of coming here as well.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the Oneonta Tigers, right? I mean, that's what they were before, and
even
they've kind of stuck to the colors.
Yeah, and then the Oneonta Yankees from the New York Penn League days, so.
Yep, John Elway played there.
John Elway, you're right.
Yeah. But they've stuck with the same color scheme, which is cool.
Yeah. Except for when they were the Yankees.
True. Well, you got to go with tradition.
We're going way
there.
back then.
You got to go tradition there.
You're going back to my days, so that's television was just becoming a thing.
And there's the pitch called strike to Nathan Bowes. Count 0-1 with 1 out. Runner on first.
But if I'm not mistaken, I believe Don Mattingly actually played a couple games at Oneonta as well. I could be wrong about that, but I think he did.
Correct, yep. He's got a baseball card with the Oneonta.
I'm not sure if he ever made it here to play, but I do know that there was a few games he was at Oneonta. I think Elway played here, actually.
Elway did play here. That I did know. Yep.
So
1 ball, 1 strike.
Boy, that's one
cool,
of those.
and that's what's cool to think about. Like guys that have played, and that's we always kind of go back to hockey once in a while, but that's. Now that you said that, it kind of reminded me. I've always wanted to work on a story or write a book, right, about the guys that played at the auditorium. I mean, we know about the Devils. We know the guys who played, who put a Devils jersey on or put a whatever team they were at the time. But what about the guys that played on other teams? And there's a strike They count 1 and 2. They played on other teams. Let's say Hershey, Providence, you name it, right? Rochester.
Exactly. Or even going back even further when the Clinton Comets were splitting their time between the Clinton Arena and the Odd.
Yep.
The Mohawk Valley Stars. I know John Tortorella was there for a little bit.
Yeah, that ball hit hard to short, and he goes to second, back to first, and they turn the double play. The 6-4-3 double play ends the inning. We'll continue this conversation when we get back. And after 3.5, the score remains 1-0 Dogs.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gym shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime.
And fans, welcome back. And we have a replay for you. So we have a replay of that double play. We're going to key that up for you. That's a 6-4-3 double play. And you're going to see that right here. Coming up, it's going to be Ramsey, Stoney to Hurd.
Yeah, you know, when the going gets tough, the tough get going here playing over the PA. Well, you know, when the going got tough for the Dogs, they turned to double play.
Yeah,
so,
right.
And a pretty one at that.
Now pitching for the Oneonta Outlaws. From SUNY Oneonta, number 6, Zach Rowe. Rowe, number 6.
So we have a new pitcher in the ball game here for Oneonta. So quick change. So Zach Rowe now pitching for Oneonta.
But he pitches for SUNY Oneonta, so he didn't have far to travel for his PGCL ball.
True.
It's an interesting
Scott,
move,
what do you
though.
think? I was just going to say, what do you think of going to the bullpen so early with Zach Rowe?
I mean, who knows what's going on? Maybe Scholl's got an injury that's bothering him. Who knows?
Right, and sometimes in these games we got pitchers who have pitch counts.
Cramping, dehydration, could be anything. I thought Scholl was pitching very well, but again,
I mean, he might have pitched another game where he had a bunch of pitches, and sometimes some of these coaches from the colleges just want to have him get some extra pitches in, and don't want to overdo it. So.
Well, and it's like we were talking. I mean, I haven't looked at Oneonta's schedule for the rest of the week. I know they played last night. They're playing tonight.
Yep.
They might have a lot of games coming up, and their coach might just want to try to save their pitchers a little bit.
Yep. So here's Rowe on the mound, and he's going to face Ian Oschlager at the plate here. Here we go. So here's the pitch, and that is inside for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes from Zach Rowe. And Glens Falls just beat Saugerties in game 1 of the doubleheader, I'm being told. And that one misses for ball 2 in the count now, 2-0.
The Dragons are another one of those teams. They got a losing record, but you got to watch out for them every single game.
Yep. They clipped Mohawk Valley 3-2 the other night.
I think they beat Amsterdam last week, too, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Right.
No?
Here's the pitch.
Boonville, okay.
And that one in for a strike. And they count 2-1. Yeah, I always say you can't look at records with a lot of these teams because there's so many things going on. An injury here, an injury there, or a new player comes in that hasn't been here yet. A lot can change pretty quickly for these teams. And there's a diving
That's a
catch
nice play
in
right
center
there.
field. And he just stole that one. That was the center fielder, Dave Richards. Fantastic play out in center field.
A lot of credit to him there. And I'll tell you, it's a good thing he came up with that, too, because if he does it, that gets to the fence, and that's trouble. But hats off to Richard on a heck of a catch.
So Justin Hurd now will come to the plate. He struck out in his first at-bat here tonight. And he's got 1 out on the board. Top of the 4th, nobody on. The reason he's got nobody on is because that guy in center field just stole one from Ian Oschlager. Great play.
Call the police. There's been a robbery.
1 ball, no strikes. Breeze is starting to feel a little bit up here, Scott. Feeling good. 1-1 count. Swing and a miss.
Keep it coming. That's all I got to say.
Although the flag's not moving, so I don't know what I felt.
Yeah. It's right. It doesn't matter.
I'll take it.
As long as the breeze is blowing through here, I don't care what it's doing out in center field, to be honest with you.
And that one comes right back to us. The count 1-2, and you know that The sad thing is, this is probably as cool as this is going to get for me tonight because I have no power at home because of the storm damage. The family has been shipped away to a cold location that I'm not privy to.
Sorry to hear that, my friend. I hope there's air conditioning in your car.
That's it. So the drive back is going to be fantastic.
Take the slow scenic route.
Oh, you bet. I might not get home till 3 o'clock today.
Yeah.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
I don't know what happened. It just wasn't running right.
It doesn't matter because no one's home. So I can get home whenever time I want. And there's a called strike 3 and a nasty pitch.
Backdoor strike right there. Oof.
All these pitchers tonight pulling up their best stuff.
Yeah, a lot of movement. And too, now the Dawgs are facing a left-hander.
Yeah,
they were facing a right-hander for the first 3 innings, and now it's a whole different mindset.
So Sean Stoney now, bottom of the lineup for the Dawgs, hitting 200. He struck out in his first at bat. Here's the pitch.
Ooh,
and that's going to hit him. So he will take a little stroll down the first base.
Boy, at first I thought that got him right on the shin.
You know what? I don't care where it gets you. It's going to hurt.
That can't be comfortable.
John Calabrese. I mean, that's another thing. These guys make it look like nothing. They get hit by a pitch and they just walk on the first base.
Yeah, I know, right?
I guarantee you hit me with one of those pitches.
Oh, I'm laying there in the batter's box. Are you kidding me?
I mean, I'm like flopping around like I got hit with a train.
Yeah, I'm in a fetal position.
That one's high. Gets away from the catcher.
What a bounce
back, comes right back to him.
Wow.
Well, that was convenient.
You don't see that very often.
No, that ball came so fast, he missed it completely almost, and it hit the backstop and just bounced right back to him.
You know what that was like? Remember those pitch backs we had when we were kids?
Yeah, yep.
Throw that net and it right back to you?
It's true, yeah. Sometimes you get the good bounce. Regardless, runner now on second base, so Stoney at second with 2 outs here.
I loved mine until it rusted out.
Calibrate.
My dad's like, I told you to put that thing in the shed. No, I'm not buying you a new one.
Still got a lot of hard feelings there, huh?
Nah.
Let it out, buddy.
No, you know what? I learned to play with a tennis ball against the wall.
Oh, that was fun. Well, that one misses for ball 2. So 2 balls and no strike. We talk about the tennis ball. So I had across the street from me, I grew up from the school I went to, the elementary school, St. Agnes School, it's a Catholic school. And it was a big building, big brick building. So the back wall was the back of the building, had no windows. So we would just go there and just throw the ball off the back of the thing. I mean, we even threw a hard ball.
Yeah.
I mean, it was bricks. Never once did it break. I mean, one time, like once in a while, because they had the big, so count us 3 now. They had a big 2-door stainless steel door back there. And once in a while, it hit the door.
Yeah.
And it would sound like a...
Oh, I'm sure, like a cannon going off.
And there was a guy who, I'll give you the story about St. Agnes, the janitor, lived there. He lived downstairs.
Oh,
he had an apartment down there. And there's a strike, count now 3-1. You wouldn't see him during school hours. He was kind of the janitor that would do all the work when all the kids weren't there.
Just like the Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah. So it was weird. And you'd never see him any other time. Once in a while, when you hit the door, he'd come out. And it was scary. That ball was something like a broken bat.
There you go.
And that was hit the left field.
Yeah,
that's going to score a run. And he might have broke his bat in that one.
He'll still take it, though.
Yes, he will. Bats are replaceable. Especially nowadays, right? A lot of these players, I don't know if it's in college that they get sent bats, but a lot of these players.
You know what I haven't noticed? And I asked Travis about this in preseason. I'm still looking for the torpedo bats.
Are they legal I mean, I guess they're legal.
He said there was going to be a couple. I just haven't noticed them. You notice that's kind of died down, though, that torpedo bat talk.
I don't know if that really helps you or not, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean,
I get it. There's a strike on 1 count. I get the concept behind it. I don't know, though. You still got to swing the bat, and you still got to put that barrel, regardless of where it is, you still got to put it there.
Right.
I mean, the ball's not going to just go to the torpedo part of the bat.
Right.
Or the bigger part of the bat.
It's not like the fat bats in wiffle ball. Remember those?
Right. Now you come up with one of those, then something different.
Now there might be a problem.
So
of course, could you imagine how heavy that would be?
But that's the thing, though. What is the rule, I guess? It probably can only be...
I think it's got to be a certain ounce.
Okay.
Is what I think it is. I could be wrong on that, but...
Which makes sense. So that's ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike. But I get, like, with the torpedo bat, right? So they just moved where the center of the bat is, essentially, right? It
expands the sweet spot is what it does.
Right. So the weight doesn't change, right?
No.
But here's my thing. Like, if you let's say you drastically change that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You still keep it to the same ounce, let's say. You're not within the limit of the over ounces, we're going to call it, right? But your bat now looks like one of those big, Yeah. Is that all right?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, you come up there like a paddle. Is that okay? 2-2 the count.
Oh, the old timers like Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig. I mean, they had 48-ounce bats.
They had trees. Yeah, they just cut down a tree.
They're clubs.
Oh my God! 2-2 the count. Yeah, Babe Ruth. Literally, his bat is a tree trunk.
Yeah.
I mean, but he was also a big guy, so it's like, well,
exactly.
So 2-2 now the count here. Runner on first base, and that one misses. So full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes. The Dawgs have jumped ahead now 2-0. Love to continue this inning here in the bottom of the 4th with this 2-0 advantage. So here's Rowe, delivers the pitch, and that is popped up. First baseman coming for it in foul territory, calls everybody off, makes the catch. And the Dawgs are retired, but they score one more run. The score now 2-0 Dawgs after 4.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime. Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And welcome back, fans. Bottom of the 4th inning here. And we're going to lose Scott here for a little bit. He's got some other duties to attend to. And a couple things from our Facebook Live feed I'll address momentarily. So Chase Kohler now the batter. So first, a shout out to some of our fans who are listening. Always appreciate our fans listening out there. Joanne Miller's listening, cheering on the Dawgs. Sadie cheering on her Dawgs. We have Sarah Berry out there listening. And Sarah asked a question. And there's a base hit to start things off here for Oneon. So Sarah asking how late the Dawg games usually go on 4. I say usually 9:30, 10 o'clock or so. We're usually out of here. For the most part. I mean, sometimes they go a little later, but I'd say for the most part, 9:30 or so is probably the general time I'd say we get out of here. Games start at 6:30, so you can always leave a little early if you need to. But I guarantee it's a good time. If you've never been down here, come out and check it out. And there is strike 1, and the count now 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Lenny Montesano. Oh, 1 pitch coming on its way. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Big swing and a miss there by Montesano. And the count quickly 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Andrew Gandy from Felician University on the mound. 1-0 on the year. Looking to improve that record to maybe 2-0 with a win. 0-2 count here. To Montesano, runner on first, taking a short lead. Pitch is high for ball 1 in the count, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. Top of the 5th inning here from Veteran Memorial Park in Little Falls. It is perfect game collegiate baseball league action. Oneonta Outlaws against the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. So at bat is the DH Lenny Montesano. He digs in. We're ready to face Gendy here with an 1-2 count. Gendy looks in, looks at his runner over his shoulder at first base and delivers the pitch. And swing and a miss. And there is strike 3. So Dave Richards now the batter. He's the center fielder. Has struck out once here tonight. He's going to step into the box here to face Gendy for the second time. Again, runner on first base taking a short lead. Here's the pitch. High for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. Again, we're seeing Gendy working quickly. He usually looks in, gets his sign, and is ready to go. He's got a runner on. He'll take a glance at the runner. And he did that already, and now he's going to deliver the pitch, and he puts it right down the center of the plate, and the count 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Gendy moving around some dirt as that hole in front of him getting a little bigger than he likes. Again, he'll look over at that runner at first base, and now we'll set and deliver on the 1-1. And that ball had a lot of movement and called a ball. They count 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike, 1 out. 2-1, here's the pitch, and that one hits him right in the center of the back. That one looked like it might hurt. So Richard's going to take a walk to first base, and Connor Waiting is going to come to the plate. And trip out to the mound, and we'll be back momentarily. All right, we're back, and everyone's going to stay put. Gendy will remain in the ball game here. Here's the pitch, and it is high for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes. To Connor Waiting. Runners on first and second, 1 out for Oneonta, down 2-0 here in the top of the 5th inning. And that one's popped foul on the count now 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Here's the 1-1 pitch now from Gendy. Looks at that runner at second base and delivers the pitch, and it's fouled off on the count now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Connor Waiting hitting 111 on the season, struck out in his first at bat here tonight. He's got runners on first and second with 1 out. Down 2-0. Here's the pitch, and that curveball, a lot of movement. Call the ball on the count 2-2. Nice pitch there by Gendy. 2-2 now. Gendy now sets, winds, and delivers. And that one just hooked away from him and struck him out looking. What a pitch that was by Gendy. So that'll bring up Thomas Woodridge. Woodridge grounded out in his last at bat. Actually, I think it's Zach Porter. 49 batting. We'll check and let you know. 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. And that one misses for ball one. So Zach Porter is the batter. Check that. Here's the pitch, and inside for ball two, and the count now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Porter. Porter, the catcher, hitting .294, grounded out in his last at bat. Outlaws with an opportunity here. Runners on first and second. That one's popped up into right field, and looks like the center field is going to get over, make the grab, and end the inning. So 2 runners left stranded. The Dogs keep on hanging on to that lead, 2-0. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Back after this.
Visit the Daily Post and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the Mohawk Valley. Our mission is to generate interest in the area and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our podcast, or sign up for our weekly email newsletter. Stop by today at thedailypost.digital. You'll be glad you did.
And we are back, and Joey Calabretti now the pitcher. I'm sorry, the batter for the Dogs. So here's Calabretti. And the pitch misses completely for ball one. So 1 ball, no strikes to Calabretti. So for this inning, it'll be Calabretti, Kuzik, and Hart all coming to the plate for the Dogs. That one misses, so the count now 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Bottom 5 here from Vets Park. Dogs lead 2-0. Picking up a run in the first and in the fourth. And there's a strike in the count now 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Zach Rowe delivers, and that one is popped up into center field. Center fielder makes the grab, and that is out. Number 1.
Now in for your Dogs, the catcher, number 30 from Fairfield University, J.P. Kuzik.
So here's J.P. Kuzik. Kuzik has singled and walked tonight, hitting .444 coming into this ball game. And that one misses. So 1 ball, no strikes. And Kuzik at the plate. Here's the windup and the pitch. And 2 balls and no strikes here to J.P. Kuzik. And that one misses for ball 3. And the count now 3-0. 3 balls and no strikes to J.P. Kuzik here in the bottom of the 5th inning for the Dogs. Here comes the windup now and the pitch by Rowe. And he will take his base with ball 4. Will Kuzik.
Center fielder, number 11 from Virginia Tech, Caden Hart.
So Caden Hart now your batter for the Dogs. Hart from Virginia Tech. He has a home 2 for 2 tonight with 2 singles. And a little conference on the mound between the pitcher and the catcher for Oneonta. That is Zach Porter. And the pitcher on the mound is Zach Rowe. So Porter makes his way back behind home plate. And Caden Hart is set and ready to go here as he jumps back into the box with a runner on first and 1 out. Rowe sets now, winds, delivers, swing and a miss. And there is strike 1 to Caden Hart. So after Hart, John Ramsey on deck for Mohawk Valley. Here's the pitch. And that one misses. And they count now 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Caden Hart. Runner on first, taking a short lead for the Dogs. Here's the pitch. And called strike 2. And that puts us at a 1-2 count here to Caden Hart with 1 out. Dogs have a 2-0 advantage. Would love to add more here in the bottom portion of the 5th here. And called strike 3 to Caden Hart. He catches him looking. And that is out number 2.
Batting for your Dogs, the shortstop, number 34 from Trinity College, John Ramsey.
So John Ramsey, who has walked and struck out here tonight, he's going to step into the batter's box with 2 outs and a runner on first base here for the Dogs. Here's the pitch now to Ramsey, and swing and a miss for strike 1, and the count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to John Ramsey. Ian Oschlager on deck for the Dogs should Ramsey reach safely. Rowe sets and delivers outside for ball 1. The count 1-1 now. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ramsey here from Trinity College. And the pitch is outside. And the count 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike to the batter, John Ramsey. 2 outs and in the dirt. And the count now 3-1. So the 3-1 count. Ramsey's got a runner on first base. He's got 2 outs and a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Zach Rowe, the pitcher, on the mound for Oneonta, looking to get out of this inning here without any damage. And the Dogs leading just 2-0. But Dogs looking to change that here. Here's the pitch. And there's a swing and a miss. And the count now full at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. So full count here to Ramsey with 2 outs. Take a walk. Will Ramsey, and Ian Oschlager will come to the plate with 2 outs and runners on first and second. So here is Oschlager, who grounded out and popped out earlier today, hitting .257 is Oschlager. And Oschlager set to go. And the pitch is popped up into foul territory, and the right fielder making his way over. And he dropped the ball. And the count 0-1. So that was deep in right field in foul territory. Hard to see from here as we have a blocked view a little bit. Limited view here up here in the booth. Well, we do our best. 0-1 count now to Oschlager. And 2 outs, runners on first and second. Dawgs will love to get one more here or more and add to that 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Here's Rowe with the pitch. Called strike 1. I'm sorry, strike 2. The count 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Oschlager. So one more needed here for Rowe to get on this inning. But before that, you got to pitch to Oschlager. It's not going to be that easy for him to just go past him. 1-2. That one misses outside. The count now 1 ball, 2 strikes with 2 outs. Again, the runners on second and the first for the Dawgs. Ramsey and Kuzik. That one's high, and the count now 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Deuces wild. 2-0. So you hear the dugout yelling 2s coming from the Dawgs dugout. 2-2. 2-2 pitch on its way from Rowe. And that one, no curve at all as it went outside and stayed outside. 3-2 the count. So another full count here for Zach Rowe with Ian Oschlager at the plate. Runners on first and second. It's only one spot to put them. Let's see what Rowe can do here. 3-2. And Oschlager fouls it off to stay alive. So Dawgs looking for another 2-out rally here in the bottom of the 5th. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Ian Oschlager. Rowe sets, winds, and delivers. And he does so high and outside for ball 4 to load the bases. And coming to the plate is Justin Hurd.
The first baseman, number 27 from SUNY Albany, Justin Hurd.
So Justin Hurd 0 for 2 tonight with 2 strikeouts. Hurd hitting .229 from SUNY Albany, playing first base for the Dawgs. He's got bases loaded with 2 outs and a 2-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. And that ball is a shot to left field. It is at the wall. It is gone. A grand slam for Justin Hurd. His first home run of the year. And he takes it grand slam style. And you heard that one in Little Falls, folks. A grand slam for Justin Hurd. Justin Hurd with a shot to left field has given the Dawgs a 6-0 lead. So how about that? Justin Hurd.
Now batting for your Dawgs, the second baseman, number 7 from Lincoln University, Sean Stoney. That's 6, right?
So Sean Stoney, now the batter for the Dawgs after that mammoth shot by Justin Hurd. He took that one to left field and deposited it in the Little League fields here in Vets Park. So that's his first home run of the year. Does it in major fashion with a grand slam. First pitch to Stoney, called a strike, the count 0-1. Stoney was hit by a pitch in his last at bat. And that one misses for ball 1, and the count now 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike to Sean Stoney. 1-1 pitch. And that one misses inside the count, 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike, 2 outs. And here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and the count now 2-2. So deuces wild again. So the Dawgs with a 2-out rally. And they have scored 4 runs in this inning. So that one left high to Stoney, ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. So Zach Rowe looking in with another full count here. He's going to wind and deliver on the 3-2. And that misses for ball 4, as Stoney will head on down to first base.
Now batting for your Dogs, the left fielder number 3 from Bucknell University, John.
So back to the top of the lineup we go, John Calabrese. He has popped out twice and singled here this evening. He's going to step in the batter's box now with a comfortable 6-0 lead. Runner on first base, 2 outs. Calabrese would love to continue what Hurd has started here. And he fouls that one off in the count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Hurd gave the Dogs a 6-0 advantage after the 4-run off his bat with the grand slam. Little chopper picked up by the second baseman, throws over, but damage is done. Justin Hurd goes yard with a grand slam, and the Dogs lead 6-0 as we head to the top of the 6th.
We know pools. Garrity Pools and Spa are the experts in building and creating backyard memories for thousands of families. Garrity takes pride in offering only the highest quality in-ground Pacific pool and radiant above-ground pools that are built for upstate New York weather. Garrity offers only the best with BioGuard chemicals to keep your pool sparkling clean. Visit the professionals at Garrity Pools and Spa, 234 South Caroline Street, Herkimer, or GarrityPools.com.
And we are back. And we are back. Sorry about that little delay there. Got our mics a little mixed up. 1-1 the count. New pitcher on the mound for the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs is Joey Calabretti. So Joey Calabretti now pitching for the Dogs. And the count 1-1 here in the top of the 6th. Dogs lead 6-0, and that is fouled off by Thomas Woodridge. And the count 1-2. So ball and 2 strikes. Woodridge has grounded out and popped out here tonight. 1-2 pitch on its way here from Calabretti. And that is high for ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and two. We are here in the top of the 6th inning, 6-0. Dogs ahead. And that one called strike 3. And that just hits the outside portion of the plate. All right, call strike 3.
Now batting for the Outlaws, the shortstop number 5, Matt Carrera.
So Matt Carrera, now the batter. As my pen just exploded. No bueno. So Matt Carrera now the batter here with one out. Here's the pitch. Curveball in for a strike. The count 0-1 now from Calabretti. Matt Carrera at the plate. Misses on ball 1. The count now 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's Calabretti with the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 2. And the count now is 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Matt Carrera at the plate. He's the shortstop for the Outlaws. And he will foul that one off. And the count remains 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Carrera. Nobody on, 1 out. Top 6th from Vets Park in Little Falls here. Calabretti now winds and delivers. And a little chopper foul. And that brings us to a 1-2 count. A 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Calabretti. From Calabretti, I should say. And Matt Carrera is the batter at the plate, facing that 1-2 count. 1 out. And nobody on. Here's the windup now on the pitch. And swing and miss, and he gets him for strike 3. And that'll do it for the inning. So we head to the top of the 6th. Actually, not yet. We got 1 more batter. I'm sorry. Carrera, you head to the top of the lineup, I should say, with Brandon Connolly coming to the plate. The heat honestly getting to me here tonight. My pen broke. Finishing innings early. It's tough. So Brendan Connolly, who's popped out and struck out here tonight, now in the batter's box from the left side facing Joey Calabretti. And that one is hit into left field over the head of the shortstop. And it'll be scooped up there in left field by John Calabrese. And runner now on first base for the Outlaws, still with 2 outs.
For the Outlaws, the right fielder, number 27 from High Point University, Jack Clark.
So Jack Clark, who has grounded out and singled in this ball game, is going to face Joey Calabretti for the first time in the game here, with 2 outs and a runner on first, down 6-0 here in the top of the 6th. Outlaws looking for the 4th win of the season. They're going to have a battle to get that battle back, down 6-0. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Brendan Connolly, the batter. Calabretti, the pitcher. 0-1 count. A runner on first, taking a short lead. Here's the pitch from Calabretti, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 2, and the count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So Connolly steps in facing the 0-2 count. Runner on first being held on, taking a short lead. 0-2 pitch on its way. And that misses for ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. There's Calabretti with the 1-2. In the dirt. They're going to throw back to first, and a close play. Runner gets back quickly. As Kuzak grabbed that ball and threw over to first. Looking to get that runner maybe sleeping at first base. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. And again, they go back to first. That was Calabretti, and the runner gets back. Two balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner on first. Here's the pitch. And that one misses outside for ball 3 in the count now, 3-2. So a full count here from Calabretti to Brendan Connolly, the number 1 hitter in the lineup here. So top of the lineup for Oneonta. 3-2 pitch on its way from Calabretti. Looks at the runner at first. And now delivers the pitch. Runner takes off. Called strike 3. And that does it for the inning as Brendan Connolly strikeout looking. And the score 6-0 as we head to the bottom of the 6th.
At GPO, we understand every member's journey is unique. That's why our employees take the time to listen, understand, and deliver personalized solutions that fit your life. From budgeting to borrowing, we're with you every step of the way. Your journey, our commitment. GPO Federal Credit Union, committed to excellence.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And we are back, folks. We are getting ready to start the bottom of the 6th inning. And we have a new pitcher on the mound for Oneonta. That pitcher is Logan Marquez. Logan Marquez now pitching for the Outlaws.
Now laying for your Dogs, the third baseman, number 8 from George Washington University, Tyler Jones.
So here's Tyler Jones at the plate for the Dogs to start things off here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Dogs lead 6-0. And Marquez, a sidearm pitcher. First one is fouled off on the count. 0-1. So Logan Marquez, a sidearm pitcher, right-hander. Different look here for the Dogs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And Marquez is set. He's going to wind and deliver to Jones. And right back at him. He hits it almost right at Jones. And it gets past the shortstop for a single and a base hit.
Now laying for your Dogs, the pitcher, number 13 from Seton Hall, Joey Calabretti.
So here's the pitcher, Joey Calabretti. He started the game as a DH. Now he's the pitcher. And Calabretti 0 for 3 tonight. Popped out twice, grounded out once. And he's got a runner on first base here with a 6-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Calabretti with a chance to help himself here in the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch, and that is down and outside for ball 1. So 1-0 to Calabretti. Marquez, Logan Marquez, the pitcher on the mound for the Outlaws. That's fouled off down the third base line on the count now 1-1 to Joey Calabretti. So Calabretti takes a few moments, jumps back in the box, is ready to go with a 1-1 count. And a runner on first. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. And that is popped up. And the catcher looking to make an attempt on it and makes the catch. And Calabretti out on the pop fly in foul territory.
Number 30 from Fairfield University, J.P. Kuzik.
So here's J.P. Kuzik. Kuzik has walked twice and singled. And he's going to come to the plate. Well, the runner on first and one out. Here's the windup and pitch to Kuzik. Down the center of the plate for a called strike, and the count 0-1. No balls and one strike, one out. 0-1 pitch inside. And the count 1-1. So a ball and a strike to Kuzik here. Caden Hart on deck. Runner on first taking a short lead. Dawgs lead 6-0 in the bottom of the sixth here. Pitcher for Oneonta, Logan Marquez, delivers the pitch. And that is popped up in the infield. And shortstop calls everybody off to make the grab. That is the shortstop, Matt Carrera, for out number 2.
Center fielder number 11 from Virginia Tech, Caden Hart.
So here's Caden Hart. Hart struck out looking in his last at bat. He also has picked up 2 singles here tonight. So he's going to step into the batter's box with 2 outs and a runner on first and a 6-0 advantage. Looking to do something here. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 1 to Hart. Caden Hart, 0-1 pitch on its way from Logan Marquez, the Oneonta pitcher. And that is down low and outside for ball 1, and the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. So hoping everybody listening tonight keeping cool, listening to some baseball, maybe even have some baseball on TV. Who knows? You can multitask, right? That one is popped up into center field. This should do it for the inning. So the catch is made out there in center field by Dave Richards as Caden Hart pops out to end the inning. No runs scored. The Dogs lead 6-0 after 6 complete.
If you are looking for some shopping and dining, head on over to Canal Place, where you will find quaint shops, galleries, restaurants, and inns situated in the old mill buildings and storefronts along the waterfront of Canal Place. They've become known as the happening place for the arts in the Mohawk Valley. Not so long ago, many of these buildings were working mills serving the garment industry. Even today, after conversion to service retail space, many of these rugged but lovely structures speak to our great regional manufacturing heritage. If you're looking for fine arts, entertainment, or antiques, you simply must pay a visit to Canal Place.
And we are back. Nathan Bowes will lead things off here for Oneonta. In the top of the 7th inning, Outlaws found themselves down in this ball game. It's 6-0 here. Joey Calabretti, the pitcher on the mound. Here's the windup and the pitch. And that is outside for ball 1. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. And the count now 1-1. And the batter walks away for a second. Looks like he needs some equipment change or something here. So back and ready to go is Nathan Bowes. He's facing a 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and that is fouled off on the count of 1-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes here to Bo. Calabretti sets now, winds and delivers. And that one gets past the catcher. And the count now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes here. Three-two pitch on its way from Calabretti. And swing and a miss. Calls it off and catcher catches it. And that is an out for Bo.
The left fielder number 28 from High Point University, Jace Kohler.
So Jace Kohler, now the batter for the Outlaws with 1 out and nobody on here in the top of the 7th inning. Here's the windup and the pitch. And there's a called strike. The count 0-1. No balls and 1 strike here to Kohler. Wind up the pitch, strike 2. And the count 0-2 now. So no balls and 2 strikes to Jace Kohler. Joey Calabretti looking to work one more here and grab out number 2 of the inning. So no balls, 2 strikes. Here's the windup and the pitch. Outside for ball 1. One ball and 2 strikes. One and 2 with 1 out. Here is Calabretti now with the pitch. Inside and high for ball 2, and the count 2-2. So some exciting news on my front. I'm hearing rumors that the power may be restored on my street. I may sleep in the air-conditioned room tonight, folks. That is exciting. 2-2. And there's a swing and a foul tip as the umpire takes it off his face mask. And he's going to shake off some cobwebs with that one. And Coach Luby goes out to check on him, make sure he's all right. So umpire Comrade comes down to take a look. Make sure everyone's good to go here. Just give them a little extra time.
Tomorrow night as we play a double bill. Your DiamondDawgs will be taking on the Boonville Lumberjacks. First pitch
So a little drink of water for the home plate umpire. Might be all he needs to get back to work here. So he took one off the mask. Looks like he's good to go. A lot of times, well, everyone comes out to give him a little extra time to shake it off a bit. So it looks like he's good to go. And 2-2 will be the count once we resume here. So Jace Kohler. And here comes the catcher coming back and giving him a little smile. That's J.P. Kuzik. And the count 2-2. So good to go as the Empire. Good as new. And here we go, 2-2 count. Pitch is on its way in the dirt. 4-3. So 3 balls and 2 strikes now to Jace Kohler. With the 1 out and nobody on here. Top 7. Oneonta Outlaws down 6-0 against the Dawgs here at the Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls. Playing some perfect game, Collegiate League baseball. That ball's hit to second base, and he's going to scoop that up and throw over is Stoney for out number 2.
Now batting for the Outlaws, the designated hitter number 34 from East Tennessee State University, Lenny Montesano.
So Lenny Montesano, who has singled and struck out this evening, he's going to step into the batter's box facing 2 outs, nobody on, and the top of the 7th. Calabretti on the other side, the pitcher. He's going to wind and deliver and puts it down the center of the plate, but low, and the count 1-0. So a ball and no strikes and 2 outs. Again, nobody on here for the Outlaws. And big swing and a miss there for Montesano, and the count 1-1. A 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the 1-1 pitch, and swing and a miss for strike 2, and the count now 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. But Calabretti looking for 1 more strike here to get out of this inning and hang on to that 6-0 lead as they head to the bottom of the 7th. But first, the top of the 7th, 2 outs here, 1-2 the count to Montesano. Here's the windup and the pitch, and it is fouled off down the first base line, and the count remains 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to Montesano here. 1-2. Here's the windup and pitch by Calabretti. Looking to get him out here. And there it is, called strike 3. And that will do it for Montesano. He strikes out. That'll do it for the Outlaws. And we head to the bottom of the 7th. 6-0 Dawgs.
Little Falls, New York combines the charms of a small town with the conveniences of a much larger city. Of course, you'd expect to find welcoming people, beautiful scenery, family-friendly activities, and plenty to do outdoors. But you might be surprised to find that Little Falls, New York also has an espresso bar, gem shop, art center, French restaurant, antique centers, local hospital, and extensive civic services and amenities. Not to mention homes both beautiful and affordable, nestled in a dramatic natural setting amongst steep hills that descend to the Mohawk River and Erie Canal. Little Falls, New York. It's a great place to spend a few days or a lifetime. Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
And we are back for the bottom of the 7th inning. And the Dawgs will be coming up here looking to put some more runs on this board. They are up 6-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. So we have a new pitcher on the mound for Oneonta, and that is Jordan Scoville. So here is Scoville. He'll go up against John Ramsey to start things off here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be John Ramsey, Ian Oschlager, and Justin Hurd. So here is Scoville, ready to deliver the first pitch, and he does for a ball on the count of 1-0 to Ramsey. So 1 ball, no strikes to Ramsey. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that one misses for ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. A 2-0 count here to Ramsey. The windup and pitch by Scoville. Missing for ball 3. So 3 balls and no strikes. 6-0 lead here for the Dogs. 0 runs, 4 hits for Oneonta, no errors. 6-7-0 for the Dogs. And there's a walk to Ramsey. So Ian Oschlager, who has popped out and walked here tonight and grounded out as well, is going to step into the batter's box to face Jordan Scoville. Scoville's got a runner on first, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Right down the center of the plate, called strike 1. The count 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike here to Oschlager. Scoville winds and delivers, and there's a called strike, and the count 0-2 now to Ian Oschlager. So no balls and 2 strikes. Runner on first, taking a short lead. And there's the 0-2, and that one misses outside. And they count now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Ian Oschlager, the right fielder for the Dogs, hitting .257 coming into this ball game. And the runner on first is Ramsey, taking a few steps off the bag. And that one misses outside. The count now even 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Justin Hurd on deck here for the Dogs. But first, Scoville's got to deal with Ian Oschlager. 2-2. Nobody out. Here's the pitch. And that one misses down low, and the count now 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to the right fielder, Ian Oschlager. So Scoville not wanting to walk another batter here. Let's see what happens. And he will do just that. He'll put Ian Oschlager at first base, and that will move Ramsey to second.
This is your last call for beer.
So Justin Hurd now will be coming to the plate for Mohawk Valley. Hurd, last time around, you might remember, hit a grand slam, a 4-run shot. That's extended this lead to 6-0 for the Dogs. So the Dogs now with runners on first and second. And the catcher, Zach Porter, out to the mound to have a few words with his pitcher, Jordan Scoville. And they discuss a couple things here. And you're going to get back and ready to go with Justin Hurd at the plate. Hurd coming into this ball game today hitting .229. And that certainly changed just a bit after the shot that he hit, the grand slam. So here is Hurd again. Runners on a first and second. And that one outside, stopped by the catchers. And that ball was making its way almost out of the reach of the catcher. So 1-0 now the count. Hurd is ready to go. Scoville settles in, looks at the runner at second. Runners on both first and second. Here's the pitch. And they throw to first, and they might have got him. Safe at first. Close play as the catcher for Oneonta, Zach Porter, jumped up right away and chucked the ball to first base. And a safe at first on a very close play. It looked like here he might have had him, but the tag might have not been in the right spot. Looked like he might have tagged him too high. 1-1. And here we go again with the pitch from Scoville. And that ball bunted down the line and picked up by the pitcher and chucks it over quickly. Gets the out. Moves runners to second and third as the pitcher just grabbed that with his glove and tossed it over to first base. So Sean Stoney. So Hurd moves the runners over on the sacrifice bunt as he was asked to do. And now Sean Stoney will come to the plate with runners on second and third. Dawgs lead 6-0, just one out here. Here's the pitch. And that is called a strike, I believe, 0-1. No balls and one strike here to Stoney. One out. Runners in scoring position at second and third. Here's the pitch to Stoney. And that catches the outside corner in the count quickly, 0-2. So no balls and two strikes here to Sean Stoney. Stoney was hit by a pitch earlier, walked, and also struck out once here today. He's facing an 0-2 count with one out and runners in scoring positions at second and third. Here's the pitch. And he pops that one into center field. Center fielder coming fast, dives for it, makes the grab. And a run scores from third after the sac fly from Sean Stoney. So John Calabrese now the batter. So here's Calabrese. So Don Calabrese, who has popped out twice, grounded out once, singled, comes to the plate with 2 outs. And a runner on second base. Dawgs now leads 7-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. Here is the windup now and the pitch on its way. And is fouled off in the count 0-1. So no balls and one strike here to Calabrese. Again, he's got a runner on a second base and a 7-0 lead with 2 outs. Bottom 7. Dawgs looking to pile on some more here. Jordan Scoville, the pitcher for Oneonta. He's going to wind and deliver. And puts it high for ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. A 1-1 count, 2 outs. And there's a strike. And the count now 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. One and two, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Scoville now. Looking at that runner at second, taking a big lead, not being held on there. And that ball hit right up the middle. It's going to get through. And here comes the runner. Play at the plate, not in time. They throw over to second. They get him at second base, but a run scores before that. And they go up 8-0 as the inning comes to a close. So Dawgs lead 8-0. We head to the top of the 8th.
Visit the Daily Post and stay connected with the latest news, information, and events in the Mohawk Valley. Our mission is to generate interest in the area and connect residents in a more meaningful way by facilitating deeper conversations about how these stories will shape the future of the Mohawk Valley. Join thousands of weekly visitors who stay up to date with feature stories, interviews, videos, our event calendar, and print publication, the Mohawk Valley Express. It's about timely local news for the community, keeping citizens informed about important issues, telling about the people who live and work here, and giving locally owned businesses the opportunity to reach a very targeted audience of locals and tourists alike. It's a whole new form of media-rich content developed specifically for today's mobile lifestyle and listeners. You can download our iOS app in the iTunes Store, listen to our podcast, or sign up for our weekly email newsletter. Stop by today at thedailypost.digital. You'll be glad you did.
1 from Macomb Community College, Dane Richards.
And welcome back for the top of the 8th inning. Jake Beck now pitching for the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. And coming to the plate, Dave Richards now at the plate for Oneonta here in the top of the 8th inning. They find themselves down 8-0. And Beck is on the mound, a big right-hander for Mohawk Valley, ready to face Richard. Here's Beck now with the windup and the pitch. And there's a big swing and a miss by Richards, and they count 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Richards. Richards hit by a pitch tonight, also struck out. 0-1. And that one fouled off, and that hits the umpire again. That one, another one. That's the second time he's gotten whacked today. That ball is just finding him. 0-2 the count. And we're going to take a little bit of break, give them a chance here to regroup, and we'll be back.
Hey fans, tell the world you are here at Veterans Memorial Park watching your Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. Share your experiences, connect with other fans, and gain behind-the-scenes access to your favorite team. For more information, visit mvdiamonddogs.com or like us on Facebook or follow us on Instagram and Twitter.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
All right, fans, we're back. Umpire is good to go again. He's taking a beating here tonight. Hope he gets some hazard pay for tonight's game. 0-2 the count. Second time he got hit by a ball. That ball is just finding him. He's like a magnet for it. So 0-2 the count. We get back to things here. Jake Beck is the pitcher for Mohawk Valley. Dave Richards, the batter. And he fouls that one off. 0-2. Well, no balls and 2 strikes. If I were that home plate umpire, I'd run away when that pitch was thrown. Want no part of it. 0-2. I'll be behind the fence calling strikes tonight. And that one misses for ball 1. The count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We always talk about how these guys don't get enough credit back there. But they work these hot days, games with all this equipment on, crouched down, taking foul balls. That one fouled off in the count 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here to Dave Richards back, the pitcher on the mound. Jake Beck for Mohawk Valley. Beck looks in. He's got a 1-2 count here on Richards. And misses on that one, and the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And that is fouled off on the first base line. And the count remains 2-2. So Beck is set. Richards is set. 2-2 pitch on its way now from Beck. And little dribbler to short. Shortstop grabs it, throws high over the head of the first baseman. And an E6 on the play, and the runner is safe. So what looked to be a routine out turns to be an error. And we were talking about this earlier. Ball gets a little slick out there when your hands are sweaty. A lot of factors can go into play. And why that ball sailed away from the shortstop, John Ramsey. So with nobody out, Connor waiting, now the batter for Oneonta. And that one misses down low to waiting to count 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Again, another hot, humid evening here in Little Falls. finally the weather everyone's been asking for, but some of the storms that have rolled through, not what we're looking for. And obviously we send out our prayers and everybody out in the Clark Mills area. Obviously some families have lost some loved ones out there. Very tragic. And we send our condolences from the DiamondDawgs all the way to Clark Mills. So 2 balls and no strikes. And that one in for a strike, and the count now 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. So here's Beck with the 2-1 pitch. And puts it low for ball 3. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Now a runner on first base here for the Outlaws. With nobody out. Top of the 8th. They're down 8-0. So looking to start a spark here anywhere is Oneonta. 3-1. And that's fallen off in the count now 3-2. So a full count here to Connor Waiting. And Beck looking to finish him off here and pick up out number 1 of the inning. Runner on first, taking a short few steps off the bag. Wind up the pitch. And in the dirt for ball 4. And that'll put runners on first and second with nobody out.
Catcher number 49 from Wofford College, Zach Porter.
So Zach Porter now will take his hack here. And Jake Beck will do so with nobody out. And the runners on first and second. So the catcher for Oneonta, Zach Porter, ready to go. And looks like Beck is ready to deliver the pitch. Here it comes. And that one is hit to right field. And right fielder backing up, makes the grab. And throw comes in, runners in advance, the third from second. And so there's 1 out. And runners now on the corners for Oneonta with 1 out.
Now batting for the Outlaws, the third baseman, number 14 from Wofford College, Thomas Woodridge.
So Thomas Woodridge now the batter. Left-handed batter is Woodridge. And he's going to step into the plate here. Batter's box with an out. And runners on the corners looking for their first run of the ball game here is Oneonta. And that is popped foul down the third base line. So no balls and 1 strike, 1 out. Runners on the corners here for the Outlaws. 0-1. Beck is set. And delivers. And that is fouled off in the count now 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes here. 0-2 count to Thomas Woodridge. So back ahead of the count here. Looking to finish him off with the 0-2 count. He's going to wind and deliver and puts it high for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. One and 2 now the count. Back is set. Runners on first and third taking short leads. Here's the windup in the pitch. And that is popped foul down the third base line. So hanging in there is Woodridge with this 1-2 count and 1 out. Again, Oneonta needs runs, and they need them fast as we're already in the top of the 8th inning here. And they are down by 8 runs already. 1 and 2, here's the pitch. And down low for ball 2, and that evens the count at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Again, those runners on the corners taking short leads as Oneonta looking for the first run of the ball game here. Here's the windup in the pitch and called strike 3 outside corner, and that is good for out number 2. And a nice pitch there by Jake Beck. He painted the outside corner and got the call. So here's Matt Carrera Now due up here for Oneonta. They'll do so with 2 outs again. And runners on the corners. There's the windup, the pitch. And that one bounces off the catcher's helmet. And the catcher laughing a bit. Saying, you know what? It's getting a little crazy here with the balls that are hitting us tonight. That went off the catcher. Might have even got a piece of the umpire. And again, I would recommend to the umpire for the final couple innings, just go behind the fence here and just call the game from there. Much safer. It's become a workers' comp issue here all of a sudden for this poor umpire. 0-1 count. And that has popped up at the foul territory. First baseman coming fast. And it is out of play. It goes into the stands here, makes a big crash. And you're going to see the scramble now with the kids trying to get that ball. Looks like we got a happy fan. Always, always fun when you can snag a foul ball at a baseball game, folks. And I'm telling you, if you want to get a baseball, this is a place to be. Great place to hang out. You come up here, I'll tell you exactly the hot spots of where to hang out. I'll give you a clue. It's the tennis courts. No balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. And that one again is fouled off. Almost making it to the tennis courts. It got stopped by the fence here that we have in front of us. But if you've never been here, to the right of us behind the first base bleachers is a tennis court and basketball court area. A lot of kids converge there during the game. It's like social hour over there. You know, the kids talk, they meet each other, exchange Snapchats. And there is strike 3. That'll do it for the inning. And the score remains 8-0. Mohawk Valley as we head to the bottom of the 8th.
Spring into action and get started on your home projects with Little Falls Lumber. Get your free estimate today for that project, big or small. Little Falls Lumber. They're always happy to help.
Stop by one of our 3 convenient locations and speak to one of our knowledgeable salesmen about your next project.
Some people might think that the tire shop in Canajoharie only does tires. Nah, that's only their name. The tire shop does so much more. Oil changes, custom wheels, interstate batteries, computer wheel balancing, tire repair service and recapping, auto accessories, tire chains, ag bags, bale and net wrap, and much more. And when it comes to tires, the tire shop in Canajoharie also does so much more. Lawn and garden tires, off the road, backhoe, loader tires, log skidder, agricultural, ATV and UTV tires, and on the farm tire services. The tire shop is a multi-line new tire dealer. That means they're quite a choice for top brand name tires for your car, truck, SUV, semi-tractor, and trailer, all at great prices. They're also a Goodyear national accounts and state contract pricing location. Financing available too. Find more information and a list of services at thetireshop.biz. Thetireshop.biz. Open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 6. Yes, Saturday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Tire Shop, 155 Erie Boulevard in Canajoharie.
And we are back, fans, for the bottom of the 8th. The new pitcher on the mound for the Oneonta Outlaws is Kyle Bartlett. So Kyle Bartlett, number 12, now pitching for Oneonta. Tyler Jones will lead things off here for the Dogs. In the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Tyler Jones, Joey Calabretti, and J.P. Kuzik. So Dogs looking to grab a couple more runs here in the bottom of the 8th. All they need is 2, and they can use the 10-run rule to finish up this ball game. And that ball is hit to the shortstop, who throws over, and that is out number 1.
Now batting for your Dogs, the designated hitter number 13 from Seton Hall, Joey Calabretti.
So Joey Calabretti now your batter for Mohawk Valley. And fans, don't forget, the Dogs are back here tomorrow night for a doubleheader. The first game starts at 5 o'clock. That's the continuation of a game that was suspended due to rain. So that's going to start in the second inning. And then after that, we'll have another game to follow. So come on out and check out the doubleheader tomorrow here at Vets Park. And there's a swing and a miss in the count 0-1 now to Calabretti with 1 out. No balls, 1 strike. Here's the windup now and the pitch by Bartlett. And then it's popped foul by Calabretti, and the count is 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here to Joey Calabretti. Bottom of the 8th, Dogs commanding 8-0 lead. Bartlett ready to go. Kyle Bartlett, the pitcher for Oneonta. He's going to wind and deliver. And puts it down low for ball 1 in the count 1-2. Bartlett, a left-handed pitcher here for Oneonta. So no runs, 4 hits, 0 errors on the board for the Outlaws. 8-8-1 for Mohawk Valley. That's fouled off, drop 3. And he's going to have to throw over. And he is safe. So Calabretti will reach after the ball was dropped by the catcher on the 3rd strike.
Now batting for your Dogs, the catcher, number 30 from Fairfield University, J.P. Kuzik.
So J.P. Kuzik now the batter. He's the catcher for the Dogs. So here is a Kuzik. Here's the pitch, and it's high for ball 1. So 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. 1-0 here to Kuzik. Runner on first, taking a short lead off the bag. Here's the windup and the pitch by Bartlett. Called strike 1, and the count even at 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strikes from the bottom of the 8th inning here. Dogs lead 8-0, so they actually need 2 runs here to seal the deal, as the league has a 10-run rule after, I believe it's 6 innings or 5 innings. Can't remember. 7 innings. I was wrong for all of them. Awesome. 1-2. Now the count to Kuzik. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here's Bartlett now. Looks to the runner at first. He's going to kick, wind, and deliver on the 1-2. And that ball is popped up high, and it's going to drop. That was in the air forever. And it was behind the shortstop and not far enough for the center fielder to grab it. And so runners now on first and second here for the Dogs. So Caden Hart, now the batter for the Dogs again with 1 out. He's got runners on first and second here. Hart, a right-handed batter, facing the lefty and Bartlett here. Here's the pitch, and it is high. And the count 1-0. So Caden Hart, the batter for the Dogs here in the bottom of the 8th. Dogs lead 8-0, 1 out. Runners on first and second. And that one misses for ball 2, and the count now 2-0. So quickly, 2 balls and no strikes here to Caden Hart. Pitcher Kyle Bartlett looking for some strikes. 2-0. Bartlett looks at the runner at second. Now he's going to wind and deliver on the 2-0. Big swing and a miss. And the count now 2-1. Well, 2 balls, 1 strike. pitch on the way. And that misses in the count now, 3-1. Well, 3 balls and 1 strike here to Caden Hart. Dogs are on first and second here with 1 out. 8-0 lead, bottom 8. Coming to you from Vets Memorial Park in Little Falls, New York. It is Perfect Game Collegiate League Baseball, brought to you by the Creative Outpost. 3-1. Timeout is called. And it looks like everybody's good. And here comes the 3-1 from Bartlett now. Bartlett taking his time. And that one is fouled off on the count now, full 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Bartlett doesn't want to put him on here. He's only got 1 spot for him. And that would mean he'll load the bases with just 1 out. Not something Bartlett is interested in here. 3-2. Caden Hart at the plate. Here comes the 3-2 pitch now. And it is high. It is ball 4. And it is bases loaded here for the Dogs.
Now batting for your Dogs, the shortstop, number 34, from Trinity College, John Ramsey.
So here is John Ramsey with the bases loaded. A good single here could put this game away with bases loaded up 8-0. You're in the bottom of the 8th. Again, only 2 runs needed to end this early. Here's the pitch. And that one is popped up into short center field. And they're going to tag up the runner, and they're going to send him. And he's going to score easily. And 1 more run. And this game is over. 9-0 score. 2 outs. With the runners on first and second.
The right fielder, number 14 from RPI, Ian Olschlager.
So here's big Ian Olschlager looking to put this one away with a good base hit. Base hit into the outfield will end this game for the Dogs victorious. 9-0 the score. Bottom 8, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Your pitcher on the mound for Oneonta is Kyle Bartlett. So it'll be Bartlett against Ian Olschlager. Here we go. Bartlett winds and delivers. Olschlager pops it up foul, and the count 0-1. Olschlager known simply as O by his teammates, as his last name has a lot of letters in it. So sometimes you'll see the lineup card and it'll say O. Just O. We know who it means. O's up right now. Looking to put a statement here with his at bat, and there is strike 2 in the count 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. So Oneonta needs 1 more strike to give themselves hope here and take this game to the top of the 9th. Dogs hoping for otherwise. Looking to hit the showers a little early. 0-2. Bases not loaded. First and second. And that is fouled off down the third base line, and the count remains 0-2. Remember, fans, doubleheader tomorrow night. 5 o'clock start. Resume a prior game against Boonville, and then we continue with game 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And swing and a miss, so we're going to go 9. And the Outlaws are going to have a chance to tie this game up in the top of the 9th. They're going to need 9 runs. Let's see what they do.
At NBT Bank, we know that this day starts with this one. This day starts with this one. Because no matter how unforgettable the extraordinary days are, there's a lot of every day that leads up to them. You can count on NBT Bank to help you get started. NBT Bank, it starts here.
Wake up and smell the sizzle at your local Burger King. Burger King is open for breakfast 7 days a week. Your mornings deserve the royal treatment. So dive in to try our delicious breakfast sandwiches, savor our savory hash browns, and wash it all down with a hot or iced coffee. Whether it's Monday or Sunday, we've got your breakfast cravings covered. Swing by BK today to have it your way. You rule at participating U.S. restaurants during breakfast hours.
At Hummel's Office Plus, our customers remain our #1 priority. Hi, Central New York. This is Justin Hummel, CEO of Hummel's Office Plus. If you are in need of a reliable, competitive, and consistent business product supplier, give Hummel's a try. We offer customized pricing, free next-day delivery, and personalized service. With our wide assortment of office supplies, janitorial supplies, furniture, and everything else you need for your workplace, Hummel's is your go-to for all your business products.
And we are back, fans. Top of the ninth. Walter Garrett is going to take the mound here for the Mohawk Valley DiamondDawgs. And it is a 9-0. So the Outlaws are going to have to mount a furious comeback here in the top of the ninth. Gives themselves a chance here. Here's the pitch by Walter Garrett. And that is ball one. 1 ball, no strikes here to Garrett, from Garrett. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Garrett puts it high for ball 2, and they count now 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Brandon Connolly. Connolly is top of the order here, so is it 1, 2, 3 in the order. So Oneonta can't ask for anything better here with their 1, 2, and 3 hitter coming up to the plate. 2-0 pitch. Called strike 1, outside corner. Catches the corner of the plate. And the count now 2-1. 2 balls and 1 strike from Walter Garrett. Garrett sets. He's going to wind and deliver. And it's up the middle, and the shortstop is there to make the grab. He picks it up, throws it over for out number uno. That was John Ramsey at short for the Dogs. So down to their final 2 outs here is Oneonta. So Jack Clark now at the plate. First pitch to Clark misses for ball 1 from Garrett. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, top of the ninth, 9-0. Mohawk Valley ahead. Walter Garrett looking to seal the deal here. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 1 in the count, 1-1. 1 ball and a 1 strike. So Garrett looks in. Big lefty sets, winds and delivers. And that one misses inside I should say, and the count 2-1. So 2 balls and a 1 strike here. Jack Clark. Not Jack Clark, the Hall of Famer, but Jack Clark at the plate. Not yet, at least. And there's a strike, and the count now 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a 1 out here to Clark. Walter Garrett looking for 1 more, and they'll have 2 outs here. 1 more strike is what he's looking for here against Clark. Here's the windup and the pitch, and that's fouled off by Clark, and the count's going to remain 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as Clark makes his way back into the batter's box. Garrett is set on the mound. Looks in, gets his sign from his catcher. And he's ready to deal here with the 2-2. And that is popped foul. So Clark battles at the plate here. Two balls, 2 strikes. Clark is ready. And here is Walter Garrett with the pitch. And that is fouled off again, and the count remains 2-2. So Jack Clark battling at the plate here. Not going away easily. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 1 out. Nobody on here for Oneonta, down 9-0, top of the 9th. Walter Garrett, the pitcher on the mound for the Dogs. And again, that's fouled off on the first base line. So Walter Garrett saying not just yet. Not done here at the plate. As he continues to take his hacks here. Pitch after pitch. So we'll reset, do it again, 2-2. Here's Walter Garrett with the windup in the pitch. And this time Clark puts it fair down the first base line. He's going to head to second. And he's going to round second and head to third. And he is there with a stand-up triple. So Jack Clark put the work in, and he got the triple to start things off here for Oneonta. A late 1-out rally down 9-0. And that's where it starts. It's got to start somewhere, and Jack Clark started with him. So Nathan Bowes now will have to continue. Well, Clark started. So Nathan Bowes awaiting as Walter Garrett ties his shoe on the mound. Making sure those laces are nice and tight. The final couple outs here of this ball game. They hope for the Dogs. Well, Garrett ready to go, and he delivers the pitch outside for ball 1. So Nathan Bowes has to continue putting the bat in play. Oneonta wants to strike back here. That ball hit the short. A run will score. They'll throw over to first for out number 2.
Now batting for the Outlaws, the left fielder number 28 from High Point University, Jace Kohler.
So with 2 outs, a run does score, so that they do get on the board here, does Oneonta. But still 8 runs away. But this time, 1 out left. So it'll be up to Jace Kohler to keep the bats alive here for Oneonta, or else the Dogs are going to improve to 9-6. Here's the pitch, and there's strike 1. So 2 strikes away here for the Dogs to claim victory. All 1 count to Bowes. Walter Garrett misses down low for ball 1, and the count 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Garrett to Bowes. Here's the pitch. Down the middle, strike 2. And they don't like that on the Oneonta side. And down to his final strike now is Bo and Oneonta. Hopes on the line dwindling here for Oneonta with a 1-2 count. 2 outs, 9-1. Here's the pitch. And that misses outside corner. 2-2. So Walter Garrett looking to finish it off here for the Dogs. Deuces are wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here is Walter with the pitch. And that is fouled off. And we'll do it again. So all the excitement, we'll do it one more time, hopefully, and see what happens here. 2-2. Nobody on here for Oneonta in the top of the 9th. 2 outs. They are down 8 runs, 9-1. Dogs ahead. Here's the pitch. And that is popped foul. And again, staying alive is Bo. Again, another foul ball for some of our fans out here. So late in the game, still foul balls to be had. And that one actually popped back. Looks like back into the field. So not a souvenir. If you hang around long enough, you'll probably get another one. 2-2. Maybe not tonight, but we'll see. 2 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch from Garrett. And that one is hit to the third baseman. He scoops it up, throws on over, and that will do it. As the third baseman finishes it off, that's Tyler Jones over to Justin Hurd. And the Dogs win this one 9-1, and they improved to 9-6 on the season. Great talking to you here tonight. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back here tomorrow for a doubleheader. Make sure you tune in at 5 o'clock. First game. Have a good night, folks. See you tomorrow.
We're out on the field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard. Gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs! We got a guy on third and nobody out. It's time to stand up, yes, it's time to shout. We're playing some ball and we're having some fun. Come on, boys, let's score that run. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs! We're out on the field and we're ready to play. We're all suited up, we got a game today. We're gonna play fast and we're gonna play hard. Gonna knock that ball right out of the yard. So don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs! 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 Don't just sit there like a bump on a log. Let me hear you holler now. Let's go, Dogs!